In this lesson, we are going to practice solution of few questions to perfect our understanding of cube roots of unity and fourth roots of unity. Let's get started with question number 1 here, for which the left hand side is equal to 1 plus omega time 1 plus omega square time 1 plus omega 4 time 1 plus omega 8 time so on up to 2n factors. And since omega 4 is equal to omega cube time omega, and omega cube is 1, so this is equal to omega, and omega 8 is equal to omega 6 time omega square, which is omega cube power 2 time omega square, which is again equal to omega square. So if we substitute these values, this will give us 1 plus omega into 1 plus omega square into 1 plus omega into 1 plus omega square. This way we will continue up to 2n factors. If we take a look on the pattern, 1 plus omega and 1 plus omega square are alternating. So if we split 2n factors into n factors one time and n factors of 1 plus omega square, we can write this product in fact like this: 1 plus omega time 1 plus omega time 1 plus omega, so on up to n factors. And we can write 1 plus omega square, 1 plus omega square, and this way this is separately product of n factors. And now we will pick one factor from this and one factor from that, but before that we do 1 plus omega time 1 plus omega square and make it one factor. 1 plus omega into 1 plus omega square, that's another factor. And this way we can continue up to n factors. Because two factors are combined into one, that's why the number of factors is reduced to half. But because 1 plus omega square is equal to 0, which means 1 plus omega is equal to minus omega square, and 1 plus omega square is equal to minus omega. So if we use these formulas, we will have this product equal to minus omega square time minus omega into again minus omega square time minus omega, so on up to n factors. This means this is equal to omega cube time omega cube time omega cube, and so on up to n factors. And if we substitute values 1 time 1 time 1 so on, n times, we have the answer equal to 1. So this is it for question number 1. Let's try to solve question number 2, which requires find complex cube roots of -1. So P2, let x represents cube roots of -1, then x power 3 is equal to -1, which means x cube plus 1 is equal to 0, and this means x cube plus 1 cube is equal to 0. Now if we apply the formula a cube plus b cube equal to a plus b time a square minus ab plus b square, we get x plus 1 time x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0. This means x plus 1 is equal to 0. So either x plus 1 is equal to 0 or x square minus x plus 1 is equal to 0. This means x is equal to -1, or if we want to solve this x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0, we will be using quadratic formula, for which a is equal to 1, b is equal to -1, and c is equal to 1. For this, the quadratic formula will be x equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac square root divided by 2a, or x is equal to 1 plus minus, that is 1 square minus 4 time 1 divided by 2 time 1. So this will give us x equal to 1 plus minus -3 square root divided by 2, and so the values of the cube roots of -1. So the cube roots of -1 are -1, 1 plus -3 divided by 2, and 1 minus -3 square root divided by 2. So these are the cube roots of -1, and for next we are going to show that 1 plus -3 under root over 2 power 9 plus 1 minus -3 under root over 2 power 9 is equal to -2. So we'll take left hand side. Now to show that 1 plus -3 square root divided by 2 power 9 plus 1 minus -3 square root divided by 2 power 9 is equal to -2. let omega denotes, let omega is equal to 1 plus negative 3 divided by 2. If this is omega, just like we proved in the properties of cube roots of unity, minus omega square will be equal to minus omega square is equal to 1 minus negative 3 square root divided by 2. And omega cube is equal to minus 1. So using these relations, which can be proved, we will take left hand side. Left hand side is equal to 1 plus negative 3 square root divided by 2 power 9 plus 1 minus negative 3 square root divided by 2 power 9 means that this is equal to omega power 9 plus this is negative omega square power 9. So this means omega cube power 3, and minus will come outside because negative when raised to power odd becomes negative. So this will be omega power 18. And for this reason we have minus 1 power 3 minus omega cube power 6, and this is equal to minus 1 minus this is negative 1 power 6 is equal to negative 1 minus negative power 6 will become positive because negative when raised to even power becomes positive. So this is equal to minus 2. That is what we were required to prove. And now question number 3. For problem 3 we have, if cube roots of 1, then form the equation. If omega is the cube root of 1, then find the equation whose roots are 2 omega and 2 omega square. If omega is cube root of 1 then sum of roots of required equation, and this will be denoted by SR, is equal to 2 omega plus 2 omega square. So this is equal to 2 common omega plus omega square. We know from the results of the cube roots of unity that this is equal to 2 times minus 1. So this will be equal to minus 2. And product of roots, product of roots of required equation, which is called PR, is equal to 2 omega times 2 omega square. This is equal to 4 omega cube. But because omega cube is equal to 1, so this will be 4 times 1 equal to 4. Therefore, required equation required equation with SR means sum of roots equal to -2 and PR product of roots equal to 4 in variable x is x square minus sum of roots times x plus PR mean product of roots equal to 0. That's a formula for finding the equation whose sum of roots is known and whose product of roots is known. So if we apply this formula, then x square minus -2 times x plus 4 equal to 0. This means x square plus 2x plus 4 is equal to 0 is required equation for which the two roots are given 2 omega and 2 omega square. And the next equation, find the four fourth roots of 16, 81 and 625. Now to find problem 4, to find 4 fourth roots of 16, let x represent x be the 4 fourth roots of 16. Then x power 4 is equal to 16. This means x power 4 minus 16 is equal to 0, or we have x power 4 minus 2 power 4 is equal to 0. This could be written in the form x square whole square minus 2 square whole square equal to 0, means x square minus 4 equal to 0, or x square plus 4 equal to the product. So this means if x square minus 4 is equal to 0, or x square plus 4 is equal to 0, because the product of two factors can never be equal to 0 unless one of them is equal to 0. If that is the case, then x square is equal to 4, or x square is equal to minus 4. If x square is equal to 4, then x could be equal to plus minus 2, or here x could be equal to plus minus 2 iota. Similarly, we can find out 4 fourth roots of any other number. Similarly, we can find 4 fourth roots of 81 and 625 by solving equations x power 4 minus 3 power, or x power 4 equal to 3 power 4, and x power 4 equal to 5 power 4 respectively. And we'll see you in next lesson.